Alrighty, so we're back here on some more Warframe today. The update came out earlier today, at the time that I'm recording this at least. Well, I guess it's not really today anymore because it's 1:38 a.m. But anyway, the update came out recently, just to say the least. And I think overall it's a pretty good update. A lot of quality of life changes, some good decorations and like customizations. Really, I think that if you're someone that loves to decorate or customize a ton, this is like a great update for you. That being said, the Follie's Hunt mission I don't think is that good. I don't think it's bad necessarily, but it is kind of underwhelming. It's not exactly like a fun mission, I think, either. It's not bad, like I don't hate doing it, but I don't really like look forward to doing it either. Before hopping into it, I did a solo attempt just to see how it goes, and I was not on an invincible frame because really frames like Dante really excel in here. Revenant, he does very well. And then any sort of other frame that can generate overguard, like I know Styanax can. Any frame like that that grants either just pure invincibility or generates overguard is great in this mode, while I find others tend to be not too good. I'm speaking more so from the Steel Path version, not the just normal base mode. Although the normal base mode can kind of cuck you here and there as well. Oh, something else I forgot to mention is that I am on... how do I... Okay, I'm just... Alright, we'll just walk over here. I don't like how it gets rid of my, like, chat every time I swap like that. But I am on Uneru currently. Now, I'm someone that has almost all the operator and drifter upgrades. I just still have not done all of the Taron strike upgrades, but I have at least all the base upgrades. And with Uneru, you do get immunity to slow, stagger, and knockdown, which there is like a ton of stagger effects in this mode, which I think is where Overguard or Revenant's pure invincibility really comes into play, because Overguard and Mesmer Shield completely negate any sort of knockdown effect. So I'm just doing this on Steel Path with public. Now I think the best way to run this mode is actually with just two people, as in two people in total, so just as a duo, because the less players you have, the more progress you get per like canvas that you're painting onto. As a solo, it only took 2 paint blobs to actually complete a canvas, so you just need 6 paint blobs in total, which is pretty decent. And as a duo, you just need 3. Now another thing I think is that each balloon is popped by weapons specifically. Now some frames it can apply to, like Styanax is 4, that counts. If you want like a good weapon to use, try any sort of AoE weapon, like I have Epitaph right here. I don't even have anything crazy on this Epitaph. It's literally just primed fulmination, which I know is a rarer mod. All that does is increase a blast radius a little bit more, so don't have to worry about getting so accurate with these. But with just an AoE weapon, you can kind of just spam it around in like corners, and hopefully that will pop the balloons. And I think that you can also put on mods like Loot Radar or Animal Instinct, and that also shows you where the balloons are. And of course, if you're in a squad, the teammates can pop the balloons as well, and they show up on your waypoints as you're seeing right here. I am less so going for the paint blobs right now, and more so just going for the balloons to try to pop them. And then I just have Latron as a primary. Really, primary does not matter too much, I'm just going to be honest. So what do I think are the problems with this mode? What's like the pain points? Well, now I am not a new player by any means. I am not a lower level player. I do think people will kind of question, oh wow, this game mode's so easy, I don't know how people find it difficult. Well, for the lower level players, you gotta keep in mind they do not have like anything for their operator or drifter. They do not have like a new weapon. They just have like, chances are they probably don't even have the drifter yet, because this mission is unlocked right after the Chains of Harrow quest, which is pretty low end. Oh, I grabbed the paint. I did not know that. I didn't even know. Okay, yeah. But as I was saying, this mission is unlocked right after Chains of Harrow. That's pretty early on, really. I mean, what, you're maybe mastery rank 5 by then? I don't know. So for newer players, this mode does rely a fair bit on operator, and they don't have like any sort of operator mods. They don't have any sort of focuses upgraded. It's a little bit more of a pain for them, because like I have 1,050 health on my operator, or I mean drifter in this case, but at base I think it's what, 300. They don't have like sprint speed upgrades. They have nothing. So that's definitely a little bit more of a pain for the lower level players for sure. I don't really know if it was like a good idea to have this mode as like right after Chains of Harrow. I understand wanting it to be like earlier on, because really it's not like too important to the story. Like you can kind of just do this whenever. It's sort of like its own separate story. I mean, I could be completely wrong on that. I'm not a lore person, alright. But that aside, what else is problematic with it? Well, I think the gameplay design is kind of just questionable. It kind of feels like excavation, but the excavators are just immune. Because of that, you don't really have to worry about slaying out. Like, this game mode does not reward slaying out, really. I know that some enemies can occasionally drop the attramentum. It's not that common though, so I think it's just kind of weird to have a Warframe game mode where slaying out does not really matter. Now, though, I guess there are a few others like that, Rescue for example, but I think Warframe is at its best when slaying out, killing enemies, actually matters, because people design builds around that specifically. Ow, there's a stagger right there. I wasn't in the operator mode thing. Okay, well, oh wait, I thought I went down right there. I didn't. Okay, unless I did and something res me. I don't know. That was a little bit weird right there. Another thing is that, like, this Follie, at least there is a Follie that's completely immune. I don't think that's like a great idea. It's a little bit annoying. She is really annoying, I gotta say. The amount of damage she does is actually kind of insane. I think earlier on she was actually one-shotting people. She doesn't do that anymore, but she still does kill you pretty quickly, and it is a little bit frustrating. She also drains your energy, which is pretty annoying as well, and sometimes you just literally cannot avoid her. Like, you're just gonna have to walk through her. But since slaying out does not really matter in this mode, I think it also just means that, like, really you just speedrun it. Now, speedrunning is not inherently a problem. I think it's not like a fun version of speedrun though, because at least with, okay, well, there I go. I think a gas effect got me. Wait, did they not run? Oh, okay, that's just that. And there's the immortal Follie. Okay, yep. Of course, this part is definitely more subjective, but I mean, really, this whole thing is kind of subjective. Like, everyone has their own taste, right? I don't think, like, speedrunning this is a enjoyable method of speedrunning because it's just speed. Like, at least speedrunning for other activities, you have to actually be able to slay out very fast. You have to kill things very fast, right? That just does not matter. So it's literally just raw speed. And so, since slaying out just does not matter, I feel like this game mode heavily incentivizes invincibility frames. Because really, if you don't have an invincibility frame in the squad, this mode is actually kind of painful. Like, you can take a lot of damage fairly quickly and also just get staggered a lot like that. If you have a Dante or a Revenant on your team that are actually keeping up, then that's not really a problem. The game mode becomes easy. And there I go again. Okay. Yeah, because Follie has traps too. Why not? I guess that's where the gas comes from. That gas is especially annoying. And there he goes. So yeah, publics are a little bit of pain because you just absolutely need a Dante or Revenant or someone else that can provide overguard or some form of invincibility. I don't think that's like really a good design, because Warframe is best when a variety of frames are actually viable. And in this mode, it kind of feels like a necessity to have one of the support invincibility frames, which I just don't really think that's a good design. Warframe is really about build diversity to me, and this kind of breaks that. And then the other thing is that I think this game mode is kind of short. It feels like it's just missing a second phase. Like, when you get that cutscene right there, I really think that you should actually get to fight Follie then, or Follie then. I think it's Follie, not Foley. Now, I guess you could also bring a Dante Spectre. That will definitely help out. I should probably get some of those crafted, actually. But as I was saying, it just feels like the game mode ends kind of abruptly and short, like it's missing a second phase. Because I remember the first time I completed this mission, I was kind of like, that's it. And then another thing is that there's like this pretty cool spawn area. You don't really go outside of this area or like use this area actually for fighting. It's always just inside the relay. I thought that would be kind of neat if we could actually go outside of the relay, kind of go into like a more unexplored area, but now it's just always in this tight, narrow relay, which again, I don't think it really lends itself to Warframe's gameplay. Warframe is a very fast-paced game, and it's very parkour kind of movement focused. My goodness, tight, narrow areas like this just don't really lend itself to Warframe's gameplay. Because, I mean, you can go really fast in this game, and so tight areas like this kind of detract from that speed. I'm not the biggest fan of Purita Rebellion, but it is at least a very open area, and so it's really fun to move around in. Really lets you test your speed. This, on the other hand, it's so claustrophobic. I don't think that's necessarily the end of the world. I have more of a problem with the build diversity for this mode, but it's just, you know, a little something to talk about. Now, I know some people have complained about like the grind time for this mode, especially like the resource cost to actually get the blueprints for Follie and the ink costs, or however you say it. And there's there's two Follies. I never even knew that. When was there two? Has that always been the case? I just now noticed it. As I was saying, I feel like a lot of people have complained about the grind times and like the resource cost for Follie's blueprints. I don't think it's really that big of a deal, to be honest. blueprints. In a good run, you can get about 80 attramentum, and it is always a chance for any of Follie's blueprints to drop. I think I did about 15 to 20 runs in total, and I got about 1200 attramentum, and I wasn't even like really focusing on the attramentum. I was kind of just zoning out, paying attention to my other monitor where I had Brozyme stream up, actually just seeing his reaction to the Warframe update and watching him like play Follie and whatnot. I typically, whenever I'm playing Warframe, I usually have something up on my second monitor to just watch while I kind of autopilot in this game. So getting like 1200 attramentum and about 15 to 20 runs, I don't think is like too bad since I was not even really focusing on it. And then also if you actually get some like decent speeds, you can do this in about 5 minutes, and that was just with my friend, just as a duo. She was on Dante, I was just chilling around on Saren or Wisp. So really, I think the grind times is fine. I think that you can get Follie and her weapon within 4 hours, maybe 5 at like the latest. It's really not that bad of a grind, and I think Follie and her weapon are like the main things anyway. Everything else is just cosmetic. It's just a nice little bonus. Someone tried comparing it to the Citrine grind, and that's just not a comparison at all. I guess I could actually get up here, although I'm not on Moderai, so my weapon is not that good. Where even is all the enemies? I mean, there's a Follie. Oh my gosh, yeah. Now in this room where there's all these Follie traps, and we don't really have a Dante or Revenant just like supplying us with invincibility. This is kind of painful. So it's like this game mode can be easy and it can be hard. It really just depends on what frame you're I'm sorry bro, really just depends on what frame you're using, which I don't really like that. I think that's like my biggest complaint. It's not that like other frames should not be able to excel at a specific thing, it just it might be like a little bit too much in one direction. Might be it's a bit too one-sided on just raw survivability. Like maybe this damage level could be kept the same if you could actually get rid of all the Follie clones and herself, right? Now I think, okay, well, yeah, then I think that's pretty much where all my complaints end. So just trying to give a quick summary. Build diversity, I don't think it's too good in this mode. Difficulty, I mean, it's difficult if you don't have the invincibility frames. Otherwise, it's pretty easy. In terms of time, I think it's a fine time commitment. I don't have any problems with it. I just still wish there was like a second phase. I'm so lost, Lamau. You'll get it, bro. Don't worry. Area is a bit tight. Don't really think that lends itself well to Warframe's gameplay. So that's about it, really. I don't think the game mode's bad, like I said. I think it's alright, or just kind of meh. That's just kind of like my thoughts and feedback on it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to grind it because the operation is next week and I'm kind of just saving myself for that. Although I guess I could probably grind it a little bit more because I actually got all the Follie stuff, and this is just from grinding the activity and not actually buying any of these Follie blueprints. Same with the end cost. Like I think I'm just missing one more part for it. Yeah, I just need what is that, the stock? Yeah, and then I'm good. So really, I think that's all I've got to say on it. For lower level players, it's definitely a pain with not having your operator upgraded at all. And then my advice to just doing well is run frames like Dante, Revenant, Styanax, or just like anyone else that can generate overguard or provide pure invincibility, because I don't think the damage reduction actually works against Follie's like AoE field, at least not from what I've seen at least. And then weapon wise, it does not matter at all. You don't really need a slay in this game mode. All you need to do is survive, but you can try to use a weapon with a good AoE. And just showing my epitaph, literally just Hornet Strike and Prime Fulmination. Probably don't even need Hornet Strike. So really just try to get a good AoE weapon with a good range, and even without Prime Fulmination, 10 meters still, that's still pretty good. Really, you could probably put on a magazine capacity mod to help yourself out to not actually have to reload this thing so much. Or even is a mag, okay, why does it say 1? Does Prime Slip Magazine not affect it then? Wait, it's probably not magazine capacity. What is it then? Is it reserves? Hold on. Is it Trick Mag? Yes, okay, Trick Mag. That's what affects it. So you can probably just like do this if you have Prime Fulmination, or just the regular Fulmination, I think even. It just turns out I don't. Okay. But yeah, just run a duo, run an AoE weapon, run Dante, Revenant, Styanax, etc. I don't think the operator school that you pick matters too much. You can go Zenrek for better energy economy if you want to. It's up to you. Anyway, just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. Overall update, pretty nice. Follie's hunt is just a little underwhelming. Anyway, I'll see you guys in whatever I do next.